What's going on, guys? Back with a video, and today we're talking about 25 things players hate in Clash Royale, part 10. Yes, we are finally at part 10, and I thought I'd do something a little more, so this time, we're gonna be combining all 10 episodes in one video. The first 25 are new, and the other 225 are going to be from previous episodes. Yes, it is 250 things we hate in Clash Royale. I tried my best to edit all of them, so no, I didn't just copy and paste them together. It's much more than that. I worked on it for a few days, so hope you guys enjoyed, and yeah, let's get right into it. Number 1. When you waste elixir trying to kill the referee. Ever since the touchdown update came out, everyone wants to do it, but my advice is learn how to do it because not everything works, so yeah. Number 2. The cost amount letters always being white. Who the hell in Supercell thought it was a good idea to remove the red letters and make it white 24/7? It's so annoying. Like, there's a legendary in the shop, you think you can buy it, but nope, you can't. It's just a prank, bro. Number 3. When there's a new event and no free entry. The most recent update brought a lot of weird things. We got a mirror challenge and there was no one free entry like we usually get. What was that all about, huh? Number 4. Paying for a touchdown event only to see your opponent give up halfway. For some reason, most of the touchdown events have been 100 gems, which is a little expensive. And when your opponent, on the other hand, just doesn't care, like, really, man? We paid 100 gems, like you did too. So why aren't you taking it serious? Number 5. Achievements being removed. In the next update, we can say bye to this screen. But I mean, why remove it? Achievements are hard and permanent, and quests are just temporary challenges. I really don't get why they had to remove it, so I don't know, I guess we'll never know. Number 6. When you get a boring quest, there's nothing more lame than getting a quest you don't want. I mean, yeah, you can exit out, but what if you already did? Too bad. Number 7. When you have a car going to the touchdown line, but for some reason it changes its path. Why'd you change your mind? I mean, troops are sometimes complicated. Number 8. Not being able to buy one card anymore. I like the new shop, but not being able to buy just one card is something they should have never removed. It's like, maybe they should have at least gave us the option to, do you want a pack or do you want to buy just one? But no, you don't get any option. It's just, it is what it is. Number 9. When members only get one crown to get the clan chest. If you're a leader or a co-leader, your job is to maintain the clan. Make sure everyone is active, you know? But have you ever had clan members that just attack once because they're lazy and just want a chest? I have, and it didn't end very well for them. Number 10. The free chest being removed. Well, it's still in the game, you can still get them from quests, so it's not that big of a deal. But still, you can't get them as much as you could before. They should have kept the free chest slots somewhere else instead of completely removing them. Number 11. When you're trying to save the clan chest but accidentally click on it. Maybe you were going to record it for YouTube or to show someone far away, but then you click on it without the intention to. Come on! Number 12. When you have no friends online. Sometimes you just want a 2v2 with someone you know, but what if there's no one on? No friends, no clanmates. Guess I'm all alone on this one. Number 13. When your touchdown partner isn't paying attention and a troop gets by. In touchdown, you both need to pay attention, so I guess it's your fault as well. But still, if one isn't, you always expect the other to be paying attention, and when you both aren't, what's the point anymore, right? Number 14. When you have no more quests to do. Sometimes, if you somehow manage to complete them all and you've already used your retrack, you know, the little X button, I don't know what it's called, but yeah, then you won't have any quest. Plain and simple. There's nothing to do, so just get off the game. Number 15. The fact that we will never get to see this screen again. Anybody remember that? I mean, of course you do, unless you started playing it like last week. Not a big deal, but rest in peace. You'll be missed, buddy. Number 16. When you're completing a quest for a chest you don't want. Something about getting points for something you don't even want is a bit frustrating. Too bad you can't X out a chest because I would have done it a long time ago. Number 17. The King's Cup Challenge. Remember this challenge like last week? Well, the decks were created by YouTubers. Yes, YouTubers. I mean, come on. We're normal people, not professional players. Yes, they had help from a professional player, but do we really know that? Some of those decks were so bad, and I don't know, after my second try, I didn't even want to do the challenge anymore. Number 18. When they announce a game mode but never say a date for it. Remember Gold Rush and all that? Well, where is it? I don't see it in the game. I must be blind or something. Well, I mean, if you're watching this and we already have it, then ignore me. This video was already being made in October and it'll be uploaded the first week of November. So yeah, these take a while. And if I say something and it has already changed, then my bad. Number 19. When you get bored of all the quests, like you've played all of them and know what's gonna be coming next, and it just gets boring. This happens to me and probably all of you as well. Every few days, I see the same quest over and over. Number 20. When the game logs you out when typing a new clan description. For some odd reason, when typing a clan description, the game thinks you're not playing, so it'll kick you out for inactivity. What the hell? I need time to write a description. Like, it takes time. It's a paragraph. So like, why kick me out, you know? Number 21. When you've been in a clan for ages, always donate, get really high crowns for the clan chest, but you've never got promoted. Why the hell am I a member? Like, come on, people. I've done this, this, and that, and I still don't have elder or co-leader. Like, geez. What do you want me to do? Pay a fee or something? Number 22. When you have like 40 co-leaders and they just keep sending mails. The most annoying thing is getting useless clan mails. Like, this is why my whole entire clan doesn't have co. Some people like to promote everyone, but co-leader should be earned, not given away so everybody can send mails about who they hooked up with or something. I don't know, it's kind of annoying. Number 23. When you whip out your phone to play some good old Clash Royale, but you forget that the place you're in has no Wi-Fi. I don't know why, but every time I visit my aunt or grandpa, they never have Wi-Fi. Like, it's 2018. Well, almost, but you need it. Number 24. When your clan dies. Being a leader is hard, and when your clan dies, it's hard. I've been there, and luckily my clan has been intact for a while, but you never know. A lot of my old clans have failed, and so can this one, so you just gotta keep your head up, man. Number 25. When your Wi-Fi dies during a challenge. Isn't this the same thing as dying in ladder? Like, HaVoC, I swear you've mentioned this somewhere. Yes, you may see this one in the video because we have 250 things, but this one is different. You can get trophies back, but you can never get the 100 gems you spent on a challenge. That's why it's different. When you throw arrows at a minion horde and they survive. This only happens when going against people who have higher cards than you, and since we're so used to arrows taking out minions, when it doesn't, it's a nightmare. When you only have one legendary, open a chest and get the same legendary. Okay, yay, it's level 2 now. That's not that bad, right? But when you only have one legendary, wait a few weeks and get the same one, it can be a bit frustrating. When you fireball the elixir collector and 1 second later they drop 3 musketeers. This usually only happens at the beginning of the match because you didn't know they had 3 musketeers. So, now that you used your fireball, good luck. When you counter elite barbarians with skeletons and they get zapped. About 90% of the time, I counter elite barbarians with something small like goblins or skeletons, and when they get zapped, well, there goes my tower. When you're playing a draft battle, give the guy a trash card, but that card ends up being super OP and annoying. You know, for example, I don't really use the Sparky, so in a draft challenge, I don't usually pick it. But then she ends up being a nightmare. When you think it's the last battle, but you still have 1 trophy to go. For example, if you're at 3970 trophies, most battles give you around 30 trophies. But then you win a battle and it gives you 29 trophies. So now you're stuck at 39.99. This one is not in Clash Royale, but when watching Clash Royale videos, there's always that one fake comment saying, find out how YouTubers get all these gems. I'm sure you guys know it's fake, and I hope you don't click on those links. That's not how we get our gems. When you try and clone some troops, but they all die, so you just clone thin air. The feeling when you waste elixir cloning nothing at all. Isn't that great? when you run out of chest slots. So you only have two options if you really want to keep getting chests. Gem 1 or get off the game. When you place a card right next to something that was just about to get fireballed. If you would have known, maybe you'd wait a second more to place that troop, but too late. When everyone is bragging on how they got a legendary from the clan chest, but all you got was like 30 raid spells. And then it's even worse when someone asks you what you got. When you place the graveyard on a tower and the skeletons decide to walk over to the king tower and activate it. Good job, skeletons. When you buy a legendary from the shop and then get it for free in a chest. If I would have known, I would have never spent 40k on it. I don't know about you, but I don't really care about level 2. I'm trying to save money. When you're trying to lower the volume but accidentally put your phone to sleep, well, you better hope you haven't been 3 crowned by the time you put in your password. When your friend leaves a clan battle, so now you're stuck in a 1 versus 2. There's no way you're gonna win, so yeah. When Clash Royale buffs a card that used to be bad, but yours is only like level 1, because you thought you'd never use it. For example, if you remember, the Royal Giant used to suck. Like, nobody used it. And then Supercell made it super OP. Just a little too OP. Well, my Royal Giant was only level 4 when that happened. When you're about to win, and all of a sudden you hear... when you're trying to log a bandit while she's dashing, it ain't gonna stop her, and you're better off using that log when she's already hit your tower. When you log a princess but she doesn't even die. This often happens if the princess is a much higher level, and it's super annoying when one of the main princess counters doesn't even work. When you have a huge push you spend 20 elixir on, and they just counter it all with 1 rocket. Like you had a bowler, mega minion, and goblins, and all this other crazy nonsense, and 1 second later, it's all gone by just 1 rocket. When a lower level beats you, well, he has skills, I gotta give it to him, but it's also a huge embarrassment, especially if someone is spectating. When the opponent drops a golem and a poison, and the only thing you had to counter the golem was light troops like goblins and minions, skeletons. So now you have to watch the golem get 5 hits until the poison runs out. You better hope he doesn't have arrows too. When you accidentally place a building too early so the Royal Giant shoots it from across the river. Well, your building basically just served as more time for the opponent to get more elixir type thing. Better luck next time. When you take out a card from your deck, but the next battle you end up needing it so bad. Like sometimes I just sit there and think, I'm not really using the Inferno Towers, so I'm gonna swap it with skeletons. And then the next battle they drop a Lava Hound. Man, when you start a battle and your start deck is all spells, I'm not exactly sure what I can do with Rage, Heal, Zap, and Arrows, so I guess I'm screwed. When someone tells you to pause the game, you can't do that in Clash Royale. You know, sometimes I really wish I could, but you just can't. So if you gotta go somewhere, you gotta bring Clash Royale with you, and you just gotta keep walking and attacking. When you place a building to distract a tank or a hog rider, but you place it too late, so they just keep walking. The amount of times I do this is just embarrassing. When the match is super long and it just ends up being a tie. In Clash Royale, you get nothing when you tie. So the fact that you spent an entire match battling for nothing, it can be frustrating. When they throw a rocket at your elixir collector, don't you just hate when you have a pretty expensive deck and you need the elixir collector? But like every time you drop one, they throw a rocket at it. And it also hits the tower, so it's like they're getting double the value. When you join a clan battle with a clan member that has no clue what's going on, they're dropping golems at the bridge, zapping 2 skeletons, throwing logs at minions. You get the point, right? When your phone dies while opening a chest and now you have no idea what the last card was. It could have been a legendary and you would have no clue. I mean, if it's a new one, then it'll say new on it. But if you already have all the legendaries, it's just gonna add 1 to your massive collection and you would never know. When you buy a chest and get it for free in a match. Alright, awesome. I got a chest from a match. That doesn't happen every day, right? Shouldn't I be excited? Well, I am, but like I just spent my own money on a chest that I got 1 second later from a free match. I would have never bought the chest in the first place. When you fail to defend or distract the Sparky and it demolishes your push. After a year of the Sparky being a thing, I think it's safe to say that most of us know how to counter the Sparky. But for some reason, I still have a hard time knowing when it'll actually shoot, which is horrible. When you get to the point of the game where cards are an absolute fortune. This reminds me of walls in Clash of Clans. They're okay for a while, but when you get to level 9 walls, you just completely give up. When you get on to do a battle or two and you end up playing forever, like you look at the clock and it's already 3 o'clock in the morning. And the worst part is, it felt like 10 minutes. When your opponent clones elite barbarians and you have no counter whatsoever. I mean, jeez, I thought 2 was horrible, but 4? How is that even legal? Like, they should totally make that illegal. I'm just kidding, it's not that bad, but still, whenever you have no elixir and someone clones their troop, well, your tower's gone. When you try to tornado an Inferno Dragon away from your tower, and he's still locked onto your tower, like he's still like shooting, like, you know, I don't even know how to explain it, but he's still on your tower. You know, I thought the tornado would actually drag him away, but apparently he has like infinite range. When the battle ram actually makes it to the tower, I mean, it's supposed to, right? It's a battle ram, it's supposed to make it to the tower, and if it doesn't, it'll, you know, like explode or whatever it does. But when it does make it to the tower, it's just like 250 damage. Poof. When they play Graveyard and Poison and you're trying to figure out how to defend yourself. Alright, maybe you're prepared, but what if all you had was like skeletons and goblins? Well, yeah, good luck. When you're playing Clash Royale and someone comes up to you and taps the screen because they thought it was funny. I mean, let's be honest here, it's kinda hilarious, and it's just a game, so you shouldn't get mad. But when you're trophy pushing, no, it's on. When the fire spirits, which by the way is only 2 elixir, take out your whole swarm of troops. I mean, it's not that bad when you compare it to the log or arrows, but fire spirits, they can take out ground and air at the same time. When you lose, yeah, just like lose. I have no idea why this wasn't in part 1, like, you know, just losing in general. There hasn't been one time since I started playing Clash Royale that I smile because I lost. When there's a pack you were going to buy in the shop, but another one just suddenly pops up and makes the previous one disappear. Alright, this might sound confusing, but what I'm trying to say is sometimes like offers pop up and cover up the one you were going to buy. And sometimes it'll show you both, so it's all good. But sometimes it'll actually cover up the old one and you can't buy it anymore. When they tornado everything together and throw a fireball at it. Well, I had a nice push going until the fireball. Yeah. When you need one more gem to buy that chest that you always wanted. You know how hard is it to get gems in Clash Royale without actually buying them? You just gotta sit there opening random chests hoping at least one of them has 1 gem. I mean, sure, that's why gems exist. You can just gem your way to the top, but you know, there's no real other way to get gems. Like, you just, it is what it is. When you drop food on your device and now you have to play like that. I'm not gonna swipe my screen and brush it off. I might like accidentally drop a golem. When you're listening to music, open Clash Royale, and you have to hear the loud intro play over the music. When you and your friend or someone you know have been playing Clash Royale for the same amount of time, no gems were bought and you both play every day. But somehow he has 5 legendaries and you have none. Like, something must have gone wrong here. This is cheating. When the chat is active, cracking jokes, and you decide to step in and share your own joke, but no one laughs or even notices that you're on. I don't know, man. Just sometimes I feel like I'm in the wrong clan. When you go on training camp and the AI beats you. Okay, this might not be something that has happened to everyone, but when it does for whatever reason, it really sucks to know that a computer is better at playing Clash Royale than you. When your client requests for the card you're trying to upgrade. You know, sometimes I just really need my cards, and let's pretend we never saw that request. When your phone dies during a battle, well, the only thing you can really do at this point is stare at a black screen and throw your phone maybe. It's the worst feeling ever because you know the phone won't charge up quick enough to turn on and jump back into the battle, so now you're screwed. When a zap kills your minion horde, if you're facing a higher level or someone that spent so much money on just zap, you know the zap will one-shot a lot of your cards. It's especially annoying when it's the minion horde, like 5 elixir and then poof, it's gone. When you drop light troops on a Valkyrie, hoping it'll do at least something. Like maybe skeletons will get 1 hit, or the goblins can chip some damage. Yes, sometimes it works, but most of the time, You just drop and all you see is your troops disappear. Spawner decks. These days, it isn't as bad as it was last year. Spawner decks were everywhere, but everyone still hates when that one guy keeps deploying building after building, and the entire match, you're just trying to control the mass horde coming to your towers. When a player clones his balloon or giant skeleton right before it dies, next to your tower. If someone drops a balloon or a giant skeleton and nothing behind it, then be careful. They might be saving a clone spell to do double the damage. When your opponent hides the goblin barrel with a rocket, I mean, you can probably hear it, but what if you have the game volume down or you're hearing music? Yeah, good luck. When the chat is super lit, but when you get on, it dies off. You know those days when the chat is just like really active, everybody's on, everybody's cracking jokes, you know, roasting each other, and then when you get on, it just dies, and you're like what happened? Is it because I got on, or just huge coincidence? When you suddenly get bored of Clash Royale, and the only thing you can do is swipe the screen left and right. Some days, I just don't feel like playing, or I keep losing and I just don't want to battle again. But for some reason, I still get on, even if it's just to look at the screen. When the clan you're in requires you to get 50 crowns for the clan battle chest. I mean, sure, it's possible, but that's pretty insane. The fact that every crown you get is 0.5, you would need to win 100 battles. And, you know, some rules just don't make any sense. When you have so many spectators while you're battling, everybody's cheering, but then you lose. There's just something about someone watching you lose, and sometimes you don't even know who's the spectator. People who join clans to spam their gem generator websites. There's no such thing as a gem generator. Clash Royale runs on a server, and for it to work, you would need to hack the server. Plus, I don't think anybody falls for it, but there's always that one bot or person, I don't even know if they're real or not, they just still join your clan and spam it anyways. Getting one free chance on a special challenge, and then you end up losing. Some challenges are worth like 100 gems, but you know, sometimes you just aren't ready and the first try is bad. When you accidentally tap to buy gems, and now you have to wait for it. You know when you tap a gem pack and everything grays out? Like you swipe and you know it's still gray. Sometimes it takes ages for it to get to the point. Like you just sit there waiting for it to say put your password in or cancel. And then when it finally comes up, you just press cancel. The meta. Sometimes you spend days working on a deck, only to find out that the meta changed and your deck now has flopped. The meta changes all the time, and well, that's kind of a good thing, but that also means that these boss decks you made will probably play out different. Not enough deck slots. Sometimes I like to test out a lot of decks. It's how I find my perfect deck. But I end up with 10 different decks that I really like. But I can only store 3, so I end up screenshotting the rest. Which, by the way, I never check my pictures for that screenshot. Kind of useless. Tournaments. Okay, we don't hate tournaments, but the fact that it fell down so quick is unfortunate. I used to love tournaments a few months ago, and then people began to create them less and less. Supercell is currently working on it, so hopefully they make it a little bit better. When someone tornadoes one of your cards to the king tower and it gets activated, there's not much you can do here. If you drop a hog and they drop a tornado at the right spot, you can't avoid it. It is what it is. When you throw a spell at the Tesla, if the Tesla is hidden, nothing can damage it. This took me a while to realize when I first started playing. Kind of embarrassing, but yeah, I did it. But I still do it even in 2017. It's just like I can't really get used to it. I forget, and I end up throwing a fireball at it. When you drop a building to stop the prince charge, but he one-shots it and still wrecks your tower. The feeling is horrible, I know, but next time, make sure you drop light troops to stop the charge, and then a building. When the lightning hits everything but the tower. This happens because the lightning hits everything with the highest hit points. So if the tower has more hit points than a skeleton, it's not gonna work. It's going to hit 3 skeletons. Sometimes I just forget and I still do it anyways. When you drop your troops too early and the log still hits it. When you see a log coming, we usually prepare to drop something light, because if he just used his log, he might not have anything else to counter. And sometimes it's true. So what I do, well, I place goblins and then the log still hits it. I just placed it too early thinking it's the right time, but it's not. Healing the tower when you first use the heal spell. On my first match with the heal spell, I had no idea what it healed, because I didn't watch any sneak peek videos or read any information. I just knew that a heal spell was coming to the game, and that's about it. So when I first tried the draft challenge, what I did was try to heal my tower. And it didn't work. Dropping skeletons on a poison. At some point, you may have missed a poison, like you didn't know he was dropping it, or you just thought the skeletons might get one hit before they die. But it ends up being a huge elixir explosion. When it feels like your elixir is taking ages to produce and you're just tapping on a card to drop it as quick as you can. Yeah. It happens. When there's a sweet one-time, never seen before special pack at the shop, but you don't have the money yet. You know, sometimes there's like a 50 super magical chest for $2, and yeah. Paying for your first grand challenge only to lose the first 3 battles. After playing classic challenges for a while, you might have felt confident to make the next move, but it turns out it was an epic fail, so maybe next time. When you see someone online, so you request a friendly battle and they get off. I don't know if they do it on purpose or have stuff to do, but it always feels awkward, and I just feel like the person got off because he didn't want to play with me. Like, come on, man. Winning 3 battles and then losing 3. Sometimes when trophy pushing, I go on a really nice win streak, but then all of a sudden, I go on a losing streak. It almost feels like the game is rigged in some way. When you go battle with the wrong deck. Maybe you were playing with a retarded deck and accidentally hit the battle button or forgot to change it, so good luck. When you open the game in a quiet place and the game sound is on blast. For some reason, iPhones don't have the hold to mute feature, iPads do. You know on an iPad when you hold the volume down and it just mutes itself? I don't know, for some reason my iPhone doesn't have it, maybe it's just me, but whenever I hold the volume down button on my iPhone, it takes its sweet time to go down. When you always wanted legendary trophies, but now you can't. Sorry, too late. Elite Barbarians. Yeah, those things. Missing a rocket or a fireball hit. The fireball is sorta easy, but the rocket takes forever and has a super tiny radius like a grain of rice. And so, because of that, it makes it so easy to miss, and it's kind of annoying. I guess it just depends on skill, but I never had skill in the game, so I don't know. When you get a really bad deck in draft mode, I mean, you don't really have much of a choice. I guess it just depends on your luck. When you get a notification and you tap it by mistake. Perhaps you were placing a troop all the way in the top and bam, your mom texts you. See you later, Clash Royale. When someone tells you to get off that stupid game. First of all, the game is not stupid, you know? So, this is my life right here. And second of all, no. When the enemy spams a laughing taunt after you lose. It's already annoying to see them laugh once, but sometimes they do it over and over to annoy you. I mean, come on, man, I got it the first time. You don't have to do it 5 million times until your taunts run out. Accidentally tapping on a chest you were trying to save. Whether it was to record it or show your friends, the chest is now gone. Forever. When you had a super cool replay, but before you could show anyone, a maintenance break just comes out of nowhere. And there goes my replay. Being the last person to unlock a card. Okay, if you've been playing for a while, you may have all the cards already, but when I first started playing, it took me 10 years to get the Witch. And that's only just an epic card. When the guy you're facing has a higher level fireball, so it one-shots almost every troop you have. For example, placing a 3 musketeer and it being flamed by a single fireball. Man, being demoted to an arena lower than the one you just spent months trying to get to. There's nothing as good as getting demoted back to Frozen Peak after being at 3K for 10 years. That feeling is just chill. Get it? Frozen Peak? No. Why am I even alive? When you look away for a second and you've already been 3-starred. Like, holy cow, I turned around for 2 seconds and there's 8 golems and 14 witches on my king tower. How did that even happen? When you're playing Clash Royale laying down and the phone falls on your face. No? Just me? Alright, I'm weird. There's always that one OP card that you have no counter to. For example, sometimes some guy has balloons and all I bring was arrows and goblins. I'm not saying the balloon is OP, but I'm just putting an example because I know for a fact the balloon is easy to take down. But sometimes my deck disagrees. Getting matched up with higher level people. I wish the matchmaking would only pair you up with people your level because sometimes it makes the match completely unfair. When you get baited. Some decks are meant to fool you into using your arrows and then they drop something crazy like skeletons and rage. It's the worst feeling because you just used your arrows and maybe you don't have anything else to drop. When your Wi-Fi actually dies and nobody believes you. Nobody's gonna believe that you lost because of your Wi-Fi problems, so it's best to go along with it and just save yourself some time. When you have a whole army of small troops going toward the tower and think the game is gonna be sweet, but then he drops a log and yeah, it's all over. When you zap minions and they get healed, that was the whole purpose of zapping the minions in the first place. And then they just get healed. Basically, I just threw my zap out the window. When you're going to drop a spell in the other side but change your mind and try and drag it back to your deck, but all of a sudden you drop it in the middle of nowhere. All you had to do was drag it back to your deck, but no, it'll just drop it on the river. And then your opponent is sitting there like, what just happened here? When you have an epic battle and only get 15 trophies. 15 trophies? Come on, man. I just spent 3 minutes fighting in a very close match, and I only get half the trophies I would get from an everyday battle. When you try and play outside but can't see nothing because of the sun. You ever just bored at the park or something and you whip out Clash Royale but the sun makes it impossible to see what's going on? Yeah. When they play Royal Giant and Elite Barbarians. How much worse can it get than the 2 cards that I hate together in one deck? I mean, jeez. People, why? When you buy a $5 pack of gems, and then a few minutes later, a pack pops up with 10,000 gold, a super magical chest, and 1,000 gems for $5. No, that did not just happen. If I would have known or waited just a bit, I would have got so much more for my money, but nope. I only got 500 gems, that's all. When you have nothing to distract a troop, so you drop something stupid like arrows. Yeah, because arrows is gonna do insane damage to a golem. But let's be honest here, sometimes you have no other choice. When your opponents in 2v2 use the Goblin Barrel clone trick, and it actually works. I'm sure you've seen it or heard about it at least once, and 9 out of 10 of the time, it ends up being a huge fail and embarrassment. But sometimes we don't have a counter and they 3-crown us in 1 second. When HaVoC Gaming uses the same intro from 3 years ago. Come on, HaVoC, change it up a bit. We're getting tired of the same old Madonna remix, whatever it's called. What's the song again? When you and your opponent place a building at the same spot in 2v2 and your building just gets pushed over. How annoying is it when you both place an Inferno Tower at the same spot but yours goes next to the river? You might as well just throw away elixir. When you ask your parents for some gems and they give you a long lecture of what they can use that money for. Here's how it goes most of the time. Yeah, hey mom, you see there's like a pack in the shop and it costs 500 gems. Can I use your credit card or PayPal? And this is usually their answer. No. What the hell is a legendary? We can't even afford a gallon of milk and you're asking me for a legendary? When someone laughs when you lose. No, I'm not talking about taunts. I'm talking about real people. You lose and you sit there all pissed, not trying to cry. And suddenly you hear someone laughing at you like it's some type of joke. What is so funny? When there's an expo on your tower and you have no elixir. At tournament standards, the expo does 104 damage per second. And by the time you have enough elixir for something, the expo has already got 1,000 damage. Luckily, I don't see the expo much anymore, or else I'd be throwing my iPad every day. When they drop a Goblin Barrel in the corner, but you thought it was going to the tower, so you waste elixir dropping arrows at the tower. This happens way too often for me. I guess I should just stop trying to predict where the Goblin Barrel is going, because obviously it doesn't work. When you take a short break from Clash Royale, let's say a week or 2, and when you come back, you suck. It's amazing how you lose all your skills in just a short amount of time. Geez, I was only gone for a short vacation, and I'm already on YouTube searching how to attack. When they drop an Electro Wizard on your 1 million troops. I mean, let's be honest here, half the time that's where we all drop the Electro Wizard, on a bunch of light troops. But when it happens to you, man, when your hands are wet and you try and drop a fireball or zap, but while dragging it, it just drops itself on your tower. Please tell me I'm not the only one. There has to be someone that has tried to play Clash Royale with wet hands and troops be dropping in random locations. When someone tells you you're addicted to Clash Royale, addicted? Me? Yeah, okay, addicted. Yeah, I think you're right. When the clan chest is complete, but you forgot to battle, so you get no chest. You had one job, just one battle, and get a free chest. But no, You completely forgot. So now you gotta watch all your friends get a legendary from their clan chest. Yeah, a legendary. How unfair is that? Trying to get your legendaries higher than level 2. I mean, it was already a nightmare getting it to level 2, but even after playing the game for a year and a half, I still don't have a single level 3 legendary. Can you believe such horrible thing? No, me neither. When you accidentally drop light troops on a poison. You know when they place a graveyard and a poison on your tower? And you drop minions to take care of it. Minions! What the hell were you thinking, HaVoC? Well, time to go back to training camp because clearly I don't know what the poison does. I'm sure it's happened to a lot of you as well, because I can't be the only noob here. When a giant skeleton bomb drops next to your huge push. Well, I had a push until, yeah. When you were at 11 wins on a challenge, you take a small break, and when you come back, the challenge is over. Well, this doesn't happen in classic or grand challenges, but special challenges have a timer. And if you're at 11 wins and just leave, then whatever wins you're at, it's going to give you a chest for that. It's not gonna wait for you, it's just gonna end it right there. When you drop a hog rider and a log at the same time, but they deploy minions. Usually, we drop a hog rider with a log just in case they try and counter it with skeletons or goblins. It's kinda like thinking ahead of time, and I'm sure we've all done it at one point. But it doesn't always work, and we end up wasting elixir on a log. When they deploy a royal giant on the other side, it's a guaranteed hit. Like, there's nothing you could do unless you deploy a cannon, but yeah, sometimes we don't have a cannon. It's gonna get like 5 free hits, no skill required. When you make a tournament for your clan and no one joins. Listen, I don't care if tournaments are dead, World War III started, or humans went extinct. I just paid gems for this tournament. Come on, people. When your opponent in 2v2 has a perfect counter and they don't use it, well, 2v2 isn't in the game anymore. Rest in peace. But when it used to, and I'm sure it will be added back again sometime soon, it was so annoying when this happens. Like, what are you waiting for? 2020? Just drop the card. When you're trying to show someone how to play, but you lose. Damn, that is so embarrassing. You're supposed to be teaching them how to play, but then you lose? Man, what a great teacher, huh? Playing Clash Royale on the go. I don't know about you guys, but I play Clash Royale and 5 minutes later, I have 1% battery left. Like, what? I only played for 5 short minutes and my phone is on life support. When you join a ladder match, your opponent is level 9, everything seems pretty normal, but his cards are maxed. Dude, how much money did you spend to max your cards out? Is that even possible to still be stuck at level 9? Like, I don't know what just happened here, but I know that I'm not gonna win. When your game gets stuck starting a match. This recently happened to me while looking for a 2v2 match, and I even recorded a video. And after that, I closed the app, reopened it, and it was still stuck for a full 15 minutes. What's going on? Bridge spam decks. Who would have thought that just dropping everything on the bridge was pure skill? Bridge spam has become such a huge part of the game, and I don't like it. But that's just my opinion. I'm sure some of you use it, and yes, I'm sorry, it does require some skill. When you finally unlock that legendary you wanted, and Clash Royale nerfs it. What? You mean to tell me the Night Witch now does 1 damage per second? Come on, I just unlocked it and now it sucks. When it takes the princess like 50 shots to take out the minion horde. I mean, are you done yet? I know this only happens when the minions are super high level and you have a level 1 princess, but tell me it hasn't happened before. It's so annoying. When people call you a hacker because you're so good at the game. You can't hack the game. I've said this like 10 times, but you cannot hack Clash Royale. No matter what anyone tells you, or you did a survey or paid for it, it won't work. You just can't do it. So if someone calls you a hacker, good job, you're better than them. When you join a 2v2 and everyone has higher cards than you. In 2v2, no matter what level you are, your cards will always stay the same. So if you have a level 1 giant, guess what? You're gonna have to use a level 1 giant to beat your opponents. Awesome! When you're trying to quickly go through your chest cycle, but you have to deal with those gold chests. Gold chests are not the best chests in the game. I think that's pointing out the obvious. And the fact that they take 8 hours to unlock is a bit, you know, Yeah, I'd rather throw them away than to wait half a decade. When you get kicked from your clan, whatever the problem was, it's unfortunate. It's not the best feeling ever, and next time, just donate more, don't cuss, get more crowns. I don't know. When you have negative gems. Negative gems, what's that? Well, I'm sure most of you know by now, but negative gems exist. Pretty much means you owe Supercell some green. And if you end up in this situation, well, that's so cool, man. I'm just kidding, good luck. Alright, this one isn't in Clash Royale. I always include a random one like this. But when people say, like the video and you'll get a legendary tonight. What? People, it's not possible. How are they gonna give you a legendary? Do they know where you live or have access to your accounts? If they do, I would get that checked, because it's kinda creepy. Think about it. 3 Musketeer heal decks. You ever just fireball 3 Musketeer and 2 seconds later they get healed? Yeah, it's not the best feeling, right? I mean, if you have a high level fireball that can one-shot them, you're in for some luck. But most of the time, when people use 3 Musketeers, they make sure the Musketeers are as high as they can be. When they've removed 2v2, okay, I know, I mentioned 2v2 in this video like 10,000 times. And you're probably thinking, stop reminding me it's gone, HaVoC. It's not funny. But that's my point. Don't we all miss 2v2? Well, if you're watching this in late August, September, or October, it's probably back in the game. But yeah, I mean like right now as of when I'm recording this video, there is no 2v2 anymore. When someone tornadoes all your stuff together, so that the executioner can get them all. I mean, I gotta be honest, that's kinda smart, you know? Good job. But at the same time, rest in peace, my troops. When you're playing Clash Royale and your dog taps the screen, okay, not everyone has a dog. Maybe you have a cat, lizard, goat, I don't know, maybe you don't even have anything. But if you do, at least once, your pet got curious and taps the screen by accident. Gee, thanks buddy, I needed that. When your current favorite card is an embarrassing one, like the Royal Giant or Expo. I don't know how the game calculates what's your favorite card, but sometimes I see it change a lot when I'm trying new decks, and everyone can see it. When you spend all your money on Clash Royale, and then you're broke. Yeah, now that I think about it, I don't think I needed that super magical chest. So, damn it, why HaVoC? When the enemy drops a troop right when the match starts, before you could even look at his name. Like some people tap the screen so fast to skip that little mini intro and immediately drop a hog rider. I gotta say, it works sometimes, but it's also a bit risky because you're spending all your elixir so quick. I don't advise you to do it. When a cannon cart dies right as your hog rider is going to a tower. So the hog rider goes to the cannon cart instead. For those who aren't familiar with the cannon carts, when it's out of health, it stops and turns into a cannon. And because it's now a cannon, it's also a building, like any other. When you throw a fireball at some troops and then throw a zap, but the zap misses some of those troops, because the fireball spread them apart. Please tell me it's not only me. Like I'm sure someone out there is as weird as me saying these specific things that I hate. It happens a lot to me. When there's a pack in the shop, you go buy a gift card, and when you come back, it's too late, buddy. It's gone. I know what you're thinking. Doesn't the shop reset at 12 AM? Why are you up at 12 AM? Why are you even going to the store to buy a gift card at 12 AM? Well, technically, it's not really the same for everyone. Let me tell you guys a little story. When I was in Australia last year, my shop used to reset in the middle of the day. Yeah, just randomly during lunchtime. The reason why this happens is because if you start your game on a different time zone and go somewhere else, your shop will reset according to your old time zone. So if your shop resets at a random time, then there we go. Now you have your answer. Hitting battle instead of 2v2. Why are they so close to each other? I mean, at least one of them is orange and the other's blue, but that doesn't stop me from sometimes clicking the wrong one. Clicking on 2v2 isn't that bad since it doesn't actually start a match, but the battle button is a nightmare. But HaVoC, there's a cancel button. Don't even get me started with the cancel button. When your opponent in 2v2 can't make up his mind, like he drags the golem to the left side, but then he drags it to the right side. Wait, no, I think the left side will do it. Oh, no, wait, hold on. I think the right side. Come on, man. This isn't hardcore math. It's just the left or right. Make up your mind. When you get kicked because the clan needed space. Damn. You know what that means, right? It's kinda sad, but I'll tell you anyways. Pretty much, the clan decided that you were a waste of space. Wow. When you win a match, you get like 23 trophies. It ain't that bad, right? But then you lose a match and it's like minus 45. Supercell, what are you doing? Why is losing 45 even possible? I mean, jeez, that's a hell of a lot of trophies. When you join a match, but it's broken. Have you ever joined a battle and you can't do anything? Like you try dragging something and it just doesn't work? Like both of you just sit there because there is nothing you can do. So you close the app, and when you reopen the app, there's no replay, no evidence. Like what the hell was that? When your cards are maxed, you get a legendary, but all you get is gold. Seriously, Supercell? Gold? What could I possibly do with gold if everything is maxed? Did you not think this through? Come on. When you want to play 2v2, but your phone can't even handle it. I'm sorry for laughing, but that's just hilarious. Alright, if your phone lags during a 2v2, then I'm sorry. I can only imagine how annoying it must be. It's never happened to me, but I can already tell it's a nightmare. When you keep trying a challenge and it just doesn't work. Remember that 20 win challenge? Oh man, I spent so much gems trying to get 20 wins. And guess what? Did you see me upload a video for it? No, I never got 20 wins. When you make a deck, it's been really OP in challenges, but when you try it on ladder, it sucks. Well, I think you should all know by now, but if you don't, ladder and challenges is not the same thing. Some decks work, but some decks are specifically made for ladder and others for challenges. I know what you're thinking, what the hell is the difference? They're basically the same thing. Well, the main difference is the level cap on our cards and the longer battles. Yeah, when you throw that perfect lightning for that sweet, positive elixir trade, but one of the cards just walks out of its range. Why couldn't you stay there for half a second more? Now I have something to deal with and I don't even have elixir anymore. When there's a Mega Knight on your tower, is it only me or does the Mega Knight wreck everything in its way? Oh, and yeah, it feels like he has a million HP. Matter of fact, no, a million's too little. It feels like he has infinite HP. Like that thing is just super OP when you get banned for no reason. I once had a clan member that we were trolling and just spamming the report button. Not me, of course, but the clan was trolling him. Anyways, he actually got banned. Man, when you get spammed for a 2v2, I'm pretty sure you at least have one friend in Clash Royale, right? Don't you wish sometimes you can just mute the damn thing for friendly battles and 2v2? I'm not talking about anyone in particular, by the way. I have subscribers on my friend list, and no, I am not talking about you guys. But I sure do know that it happens to a lot of people. When you accidentally give someone leader, I'm pretty sure we all know, but for those who don't, if you're a leader and you leave the clan for whatever reason, a random code just gets your leader. That's it. What happens if he kicks the whole clan or promotes someone and they kick everyone? I don't know. So many things can happen, so don't do it. Trying to get an epic or legendary to the next level. Okay, upgrading an epic isn't that bad, but it still takes a while, whether it's weeks or months. On the other hand, legendaries can take a few years just to upgrade it, depending on what the level is. When it's finally Epic Sunday and all the cards suck, well, it's not that bad, right? It's only a week. That's like, what, 24 times 7, 168 hours. I can't wait that, right? Hell no, I can't wait a week. Well, I have no other option, so I guess I have to. When it takes Supercell weeks to fix a card, what's going on at Supercell? Like, do you need more developers or something? For example, do you remember when the Elite Barbarians first came out? They were super OP for such a long time. What took so long to get the Elite Barbarians fixed? When a pack won't buy. Why does this always happen when I'm recording a video? Like I tap on the damn thing, put my password in, and it gives me an error. It doesn't happen in the morning or at night or before the video. It happens when I'm recording. When people argue in the clan chat. Guys, it's just a game. We have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, MySpace. Does anybody use that anymore? And out of all the places you decide to argue in a game, in Clash Royale, in the clan chat, in your own clan. Man, when you're in a match and get a notification that someone just uploaded. But here's the thing, you want to get the first comment, the first like, the first everything. So what do? Do you just keep playing, or do you click on the notification and just leave the match? Well, if you want to do any of those, then you better think quick, because in 2 seconds, boom, someone already has the first comment. When the crown chest is over. I mentioned this in my idea video a few days ago, and pretty much I'm talking about not having anything else to do. I just feel like the game needs something that you can always do, like a crown chest that, you know, you need 1,000 crowns. That's what I'm talking about. When the card you want just won't appear in the shop. The shop cycles through all the cards, but not as fast as you want. So if you want to buy a card that just literally passed and you missed it, then good luck. I'll see you in a few months. Getting a tie in challenges. I've said something like this before, and I know a lot of people will say, hey, he took that from part 2. That's not fair. But no, it's a bit different because matches and challenges are a bit different. They're longer, so 6 whole minutes just for nothing. Alright, let's be honest, you're probably happy you didn't lose, but think about it. 6 minutes of your entire life just went poof! You will never get those 6 minutes back. When you deploy a poison on a tower, it needs 1 more second to take it down, and the match ends. Right there. This is not the same as a rocket, fireball, zap, or arrows. No, the poison is very slow. Like, the only time I see the poison being slow is on a graveyard. That's about it. Other occasions, I just wish it did it instantly. When Supercell releases patch notes and everyone begins to use cards that are being nerfed. Alright. Let me explain, because this sounds a little bit stupid, but yeah. Not everyone watches Clash Royale YouTubers. Like you, right now, you're watching HaVoC Gaming. Thank you for watching, by the way. Anyways, back to my point, they don't know which cards are OP, which cards are bad, so they're just kind of like floating around there. But when Supercell releases patch notes, it has every single information about which cards are OP and which cards are bad. So because the Night Witch is getting nerfed, I think I better use it because it's OP, right? When a troop with 1 HP hides behind a tank and wrecks your tower. Have you ever fireballed a card and you thought it would go down, but it didn't? Like, what are you even supposed to do in that situation? A giant and a wizard behind it with 1 HP? Yeah, good luck. When you get bored of Clash Royale, I mean, this is pretty much my life. What else am I going to do? I don't like Clash of Clans, Heyday, Boom Beach. I have no consoles, no friends. So, I guess this is it. Trying to get a card maxed. You ever tried to max that dank royal giant? Me neither, because 1, I don't have time for that, and 2, if I did have time for it, I don't think I would ever get it maxed without spending money. I don't mean maxing a card out is hard, but I mean maxing a card out is hard. When you can't place cards, but your opponent magically can. I've mentioned something like this before, so don't confuse it with that. But this time, I mean when you can't place anything and your opponent is like just placing anything he wants. Maybe it's a Wi-Fi issue or just a glitch, but it sure is annoying. Completing a clan chest at 9 out of 10. This only happens in clans that just don't give a damn. It's really easy to get to 10 out of 10. Like I do it every single Sunday on YouTube. Well, not every Sunday, but sometimes. Yet you couldn't get there? Come on, people. Step your game up. 10 out of 10 chest is way better than 9 out of 10, and it's so easy to get to. When you forget to request an epic, Sunday comes around, you're busy, and you forget to request an epic. Damn. There goes that, right? Now I gotta wait a whole week to request my expos. When your 2v2 opponents start to push on the opposite side you started on. What the hell, did you not see the golem I dropped on the left side? This happens way too often, and it ruins matches sometimes. I think it has more to do with lag than anything else, but I mean, it's the worst feeling ever because, like, come on, one person is starting a push on one side and the other is dropping minions on the other, so I don't know. When you need a little more gold to buy a legendary. Usually, I'd get it from donating, but what if your clan is inactive? Wait, HaVoC, just open a chest, right? Let's be honest here, chests only give a little bit of gold. It's like enough to buy one common card in the shop. So yeah, it's not gonna get you anywhere. When you have to use a really expensive card to defend against a really light troop so it doesn't get to your tower. For example, placing a golem in front of an ice spirit. I do this a lot because sometimes I'd rather defend my tower than to care about how much elixir I have. But still, it kinda sucks. When there's an update coming, but they don't tell us the release date. Well, depending on when you're watching this video, this literally just happened a few weeks ago. Oh hey, next update, quest. But we don't know when, so screw off. When a flying machine wrecks your pump from across the river, without even taking any damage. The flying machine is a new card, and with every new card, there's something we hate and love. And what I hate is it being able to snipe a building from across the river and like nothing happens to it. It's kind of like a flying royal giant in some way. When you see HaVoC uploading 25 things we hate, but it's for Clash of Clans. Damn it, I thought it was for Clash Royale. Come on, HaVoC. When your teammate brings the wrong deck in 2v2, like you just search for a 2v2, everything seems to be okay, but all of a sudden you see your opponent say, oops. What do you mean, oops? Just use what you have and let's try and win. Don't give up because you bring the wrong deck. When your next good chest is hundreds of chests away. You know the chest cycle, how you can check it on statsroyal.com, link down below by the way, and it shows how long it's gonna take for your next giant chest. Well, yeah, sometimes the numbers are crazy. Only 200 more battles for a nice giant chest. Only 200. Buying an epic chest and getting 15 expos. 15? If an epic chest has 20 epics, why would you give me 15 expos? Supercell, what's going on? When you have an embarrassing game center name and someone sees it every time you open Clash Royale. Well, this isn't much of a big problem, let's be honest, but still, if your game center name is Fagatron360, then good luck explaining. When you accidentally buy gems, this probably only happens on phones that have Touch ID, because if you have to type in your password, then I don't think it happens accidentally. Buying gems in that case is kind of impossible, like you gotta physically type it. But yeah, I've bought gems by accident before, even on streams, and it wasn't funny. When you have to delete Clash Royale in order for it to work. I don't know, some phones seems to have this problem where the app won't work until you delete it. Man, I can only imagine how annoying that must be. When you get a $10 iTunes card, but you can't buy $10 worth of gems. Because, well, taxes. If you use an Apple device and you live in a state with taxes, you know the pain of having to get a $5 pack of gems instead. Word of advice though, just change your state to Alaska and you're good to go. Don't tell anyone I told you though, because yeah, you heard it from, I don't know, Reddit. When you're having a convo with someone in the chat and they leave all of a sudden. What was that for? Like we were having a really deep convo, I was really into it, and then you just decide to leave. Basically, the convo didn't matter to you. Random challenges. For example, the rocket challenge. Like, does anybody actually try those? Do you need 10 extra rockets? Like, I don't know. This is Supercell's way of telling us, yeah, we don't really have anything special planned, so just do this meanwhile. But I never even play them. Not even if it's a card I love. Like, just screw that challenge. When there's a new card and it sucks. I'm not gonna mention any names because, you know, yeah. But the past 2 years, or almost 2 years, we've seen some weird card releases. Like, remember that time when the Royal Giant sucked? Heh, good old days, right? Wish that was still the case. When there's 10 people on, you start a 2v2 friendly battle, but no one joins. Maybe nobody likes me, or everyone just apparently has Clash Royale open for the fun of it to waste battery. Like, why is no one joining? 2v2 is fun, especially with the clan, and when no one joins, it's just like, okay, whatever. When your game takes minutes to load. My game loads in seconds. I'm not trying to brag, but I've seen some take ages to load. Like, what's going on? I feel bad for you. But if it does, I mean, hey, at least it loads, right? Some phones can't even load it for Wi-Fi issues or lag, I don't know, playing Clash Royale on a tiny phone. I'm not sure what's the smallest phone Clash Royale can run on, but some iPhones are small, like the iPhone 4. If it even runs on that, I don't know. I haven't been up to date with all that stuff. I'm just putting an example, but I would hate to play Clash Royale on a really tiny screen, like just me and my fat fingers placing 2 royal giants. Yeah, no thanks. When you lose a battle and keep losing because you thought you could get the trophies back, there's nothing that makes me as mad as this. Lost 3 battles and I get so confident I'll get them back, and I end up losing 3 more. When you get a call and you try and cancel it, but they call again because they thought the call failed. For some reason, the only time I get a call is when I'm playing Clash Royale, so I try and cancel every call out because I can't see my screen. I need those trophies. When you thought you threw the last fireball, but the tower stays up with 2 health. This has happened to all of us, and sometimes we even throw a laugh taunt because we know we have the winning card, but then it fails. When you have to go somewhere, so you're trying to attack and walk. Your parents are rushing you, but Clash Royale is life, and you're only 1 trophy away from Legendary Arena. Better hope you don't lose connection. When a guy 5 levels higher wrecks you and has the nerves to laugh. I don't understand higher levels thinking they're so good because they beat someone like that's in Arena 1. Every time this used to happen to me months back, I would just throw them a good luck. When a guy joins your clan and asks for co, the answer is most likely no. You cannot have co. You can't trust anyone nowadays. They might end up kicking everybody in your clan. When it feels like your opponent has infinite elixir and it keeps deploying cards that would have took you 10 years to place. Honestly, sometimes I have no idea how some guy is placing 5 golems and 46 mega minions, and all I have to defend is my arrows. When you hit the king tower by accident, you miscalculate it and the fireball hit the king tower. It happens. When the Wi-Fi bar appears but your router is literally right next to you. Sometimes Clash Royale loses connection even if it doesn't need to. Or maybe it's just your Wi-Fi. When you make a mistake against a bad player and he wins and laughs because he thought he had skills. I'm not sure how to say this without being mean, but some players suck, and it makes me cringe when they do that. Well, I mean, I'm not as good as anybody here, but you all know who I mean. You know, the noobs running around. Yeah. When you go against a guy with a weird name and you know you're screwed. I'm not trying to be racist here, but sometimes weird names probably means that the guy you're facing is from a country that Clash Royale is an actual sport. Waiting 3 hours for a silver chest that gives you a piece of gold and a card. Maybe they should reduce the time. You barely get cards in gold, but not complaining. When you get a free good chest and get tons of expos. Who doesn't love expos? I mean, after all, they aren't that bad, right? Right? Okay, maybe not. When HaVoC Gaming uploads a video, don't you just hate when that guy uploads a video? Yeah, me too. When you log a princess and she moves. It's very frustrating when you spend 2 elixir on a log only to witness the princess just walk out of its range. Sure, this can be corrected by just logging at the right time, but we all have done it before. When someone says thanks or good game after you just lost a battle. There's nothing more annoying than having to stand there and see your opponent say thanks for the trophies or good game because he won. When you say good game too early and you end up losing. If you're going to say good game, at least make sure you don't do it early because your opponent will have a good laugh. When you get wrecked and try to at least get a crown but the opponent still defends with his life. Come on man, you're going to get the 3 crowns anyways. At least have some mercy and let me get a crown. I mean, I need a crown chest. When you finally get your hands on a legendary chest, but it's the worst legendary you could have. Out of all the good legendaries, my chest had to be the one with bad luck. I'm not going to mention which legendaries are bad because a lot of people will get triggered and dislike the video, but you guys all know who I'm talking about. When you have no elixir to counter a huge troop. Everyone loves having 0 elixir and watching a big ass Pekka just slowly tear your tower apart. And to make it even worse, it feels like your elixir is slowly building up, like it takes forever to get 1 more elixir. When a troop leaves a target alone before it's even destroyed. Have you ever seen a mega minion get an extra hit on your tower because your troops decided it was time to move on? When you press the cancel button, but you remember it doesn't even work. I don't exactly know why it's there. Maybe it looks pretty. Okay, sometimes it will actually go to the home screen, but then all of a sudden you see a random match start. And you're sitting there rethinking life. When you broke your iPad or iPhone playing and regret it. So now you have to play on a broken phone. Yes, this has happened to me once and it wasn't cute. You might want to invest in a boxing bag before you play Clash Royale. When you have a troop or spell almost on the tower and the game ends, right when it touches the tower. In my opinion, I think this should be basketball. If you throw the ball and the timer is up, if it makes it, it makes it. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And Clash Royale, if you throw a fireball and the time is up, then screw your fireball. It's just a horrible feeling.